Hello all, Sega Star here. So, Super Love Songs has never been one of my favorite Mermaid Melody songs. While I do really like it, I just don't think it quite stacks up to Legend of Mermaid, Kizuna, Kodo, really most of the Season 1 songs. It just doesn't quite have the energy of the others, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just happen to prefer the more energetic or powerful songs in the show. In terms of adaptation, I feel like most of the dubs did a pretty good job with Super Love Songs. There weren't any performances that I thought were flat out awful, but the ranking was still pretty clear for me. Without any further ado, let's take a look at the different dubs of Super Love Songs. Number 9. This version has top-tier sections in it, but it's completely ruined by the out-of-place harmony near the beginning. In the Serbian dub's mission to harmonize literally every part of every song, sometimes they misfire, and this is a perfect example of that. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't sound beautiful. Like, it doesn't add to the song. It makes the song worse. Like, I don't want to call it demonic sounding, but like it's kind of adjacent to that, and that sounds awful, but it's kind of that's what I was feeling when I listened to, like, specifically the beginning. It just felt really, really out of place. And if it wasn't for that harmony, this would probably be near the top of the ranking. So it's really sad that it's down here, but I can't get over that harmony. Number 8. So while this version does have some awkward moments, I didn't outright hate it or even really dislike it that much. The singing is decent, even great in some parts, and I feel like those Portuguese dub changes they tend to make to the songs really shine here. I love it when those changes like actually make the song kind of cool and make it better, and it's like a fun experience. I love when the Portuguese dub does that, and sometimes the changes don't work, but I feel like they really do here. Unfortunately, the lyrics are terrible, as usual. They don't really fit. The singers do a nice job trying to make them fit, but they just don't fit. And this is kind of what I've been saying. I feel like I've mentioned it before. You have to adapt the lyrics so that they flow. That's a really important part of song adaptation, and the Portuguese dub is terrible at that. So that's why it ranks this low. Number 7. So I actually had a hard time placing this one. It started out really low on the list, like dead last, and I think individually all the singers are not that great, but when they come together, they give a better joint performance than the other low-tier entries on this list. That being said, it's still the Korean dub. They're still kind of struggling the whole time. They're still kind of missing notes here and there. But like I said, it's not as bad as some of the other Korean dubbed songs. Overall, I still don't think it should be ranked that high, but it's the best of the low-tier performances, in my opinion. Number 6. This was a decent version. It's not the Spanish dub's best, but it's not bad. I really like Lucia's performance, actually. It's really energetic in a way that's not always the case with this singer. I feel like she always has a problem with not having enough power in her performance, and I feel like she did a really good job here. Rina and Hanan are kind of the same as they always are. Rina is not too impressive, but Hanan's actually pretty great, as usual. I love listening to her sing. Spanish Hanan is one of my favorite in the series of all the dubs. I feel like the lyrics are good, but there are just a few moments where the singers just aren't in key, and it's kind of noticeable. Overall, though, this is an okay dub. Number 5. So I feel like with the Taiwanese dub, usually it's like Lucia is pulling most of the weight, and the other two are sort of trailing behind, not doing as good of a job, and this is very much the case here. Lucia is doing a fantastic job. I love her singer. I feel like she's really cute sounding, you know, like just the perfect Lucia. The other two are just so, like, bored. With the Taiwanese dub, it sort of feels like the VAs are, like, leaning over into their mics, trying not to be too loud. And so every performance just kind of feels like it's quieter and less powerful than it needs to be. Again, except for Lucia. She's the only one who's like really giving a good performance, and the only reason that this is ranked to number 5 is because of her. Number 4. I think this was a really cute version. It's mostly very well done. Again, with the Hebrew dub, I feel like it's missing some power. And of course, there are a few missed notes here and there, but I feel like overall, the performance of all three of them is better than the performance of all three combined in the Taiwanese dub. And that's why it's ranked number 4. Number 3. So while the Serbian dub had very beautiful moments, and the Taiwanese dub had a better Lucia, and the Hebrew dub was sort of an overall better performance than those two, I feel like the French dub is just very consistent in quality and singing. Like, it's a good performance. And I love putting the French dub this high because I feel like it never gets to be this high in the list. All three of the mermaids are doing a good job, and the lyrics I feel like are pretty nicely written. The thing that usually tends to bother me with the French dub is the tinny effect, as you know, but I feel like it's not as intrusive this time around. The French dub really shines here in a way that it doesn't usually, and I appreciate that. It definitely deserves to be ranked this high. Number 2. So as usual, the singing is absolutely gorgeous. I love the Greek dub so much. It's such a pleasure to listen to. The only thing that I can really say about this dub, the only criticism that I really have, is that some of the lyrics are more clunky than usual. The Greek dub can kind of run into that sometimes. I think it's a language issue, but it doesn't usually bother me as much as it bothers me for this particular song. That being said, still a great version, still a good performance. This definitely deserves to be this high on the list. Number 1. I hate to keep on giving first place to Japan. I feel like it's so predictable, but unfortunately, this is the only version of the song that has good lyrics, a good performance from all three mermaids, and like an appropriate tone for all the mermaids. As the number 1 winner, we'll listen to the whole song. So overall, with Super Love Songs, I feel like nothing was too notable. Every dub did a pretty good job. There wasn't anything that was too obtrusive or too terrible. Just a couple of notes here and there. Next time on Dub Judge, though, we're gonna look at a song that's a fair bit more complex, Return to the Sea. Until then, I'm Segastar, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.